Hey guys, uh, the whole deal with S35VN is kind of wearing on me. I'm honestly just kind of tired of talking about it. I want to get back to what my channel used to be, which is just kind of everything knife related, everything fun. This isn't fun to me anymore, talking about this steel. And I mean, the testing is fun. Of course, the people that loan me knives to test, I love that. If yours just so happen to be S35VN, Alex, you know who you are. I really do appreciate it, and I'm not tired of that. I'm just tired of like people dogpiling me because of my test and stuff like that. It's meant to be fun, and it's not fun anymore, this particular part of it. So I'm kind of tired of it. I want to test my Native 5 again. Reason one being, I want to make sure the rope was consistent. I get the rope, I buy it in huge rolls like this, and this is about 3/4 gone, if that tells you how much rope I buy at once. So I'm hoping throughout the length of it it's consistent, but there could be 10, 20, 30 foot lengths of it that are different than the rest of it, and that's why I want to do this test again. Number two, I increased the edge geometry of this knife from 30 degrees to about 36 degrees. You can actually still see part of the old bevel. If I could get it in focus, part of the old bevel. You see two reflections right there. The new bevel is at the bottom. I didn't feel like grinding a whole new bevel into this. I mean, that would be a waste of a lot of steel, but it's from 30 to 36, which should give it a little bit more strength, and I don't know, we'll see. I also cleaned the cutting board, so there's no particles of anything from cuts of old left in it. I want it to be fresh and clean, which it is. The knife is sharp, very high initial sharpness. Very high initial sharpness. I mean, it's push cutting all day long. I don't even have to slice. If I don't booger it up, it just kind of push cuts. So I'm gonna send this knife to Sal because he wants it. I'm sure he's gonna Rockwell test it, and he said the new geometry doesn't change the cutting performance at all. This knife still cuts great. I mean, wonderfully. It cuts amazingly well, and it's not even really ground that thin, but it just cuts really well. He said that most of the natives are averaging around 59.5, which I can believe. CRK states that theirs is in between 58 and 59, so let's call it 58.5. If the native 5s are running at 59.5, that's a whole point harder, and since we know from my old videos that the RC level is not linear. In other words, the jump from 58 to 59 isn't just a little bit harder. It ends up being a fairly big difference. I'm not sure it could be called exponential, but it's definitely not a linear scale. It doesn't work that way. Like 60 could be called 4 to 5 times harder, or it could be more than that, than 58. It's not just a point equals 1 times harder, 1 time. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So 59.5 could be enough of a difference to make it better. I've done a lot of cutting. I haven't sharpened them all the way, the two knives in S35VN, but Alex loaned me. I haven't sharpened them the way I do it before the tests, so I haven't tested them on video because I always want to start out with the same initial sharpness, but I have touched them up. It's an S35VN Microtech SOCOM and an S35VN Strider SNG. After doing some rope cutting on both of those, they didn't seem to have any of the same problems the CRK did. No edge flattening whatsoever. This experienced some edge flattening, but not as bad as the CRK. After a good many cuts, it's still slicing foam board paper. It's got a little hitch in there, which most blades do by now. It's still sharp though. Still definitely sharp. Like I said, I'm kind of getting tired of this whole thing. So, if it happens to be a problem that is CRK specific, then it happens to be that way. Or if it happens to be that it's not a problem at all, and that's just how S35VN performs, then that's good too. In the other video, when I was talking about S35VN on the forums, I said that the steel is crap. The steel is not crap. By any means, the steel is not crap. I know that now. And in some knives, it may be even at the same level of S30. Meaning, you couldn't tell a difference in between S30V and S35VN. But only time will tell. I'm going to chunk this and test sharpness again. Like I said, I'm sending this knife, this particular one I'm cutting, to Sal at Spyderco. This wood is rough on my knuckles, man. I pull my knuckle on it and damages me. Somebody said that I should draw through the wood to clean off any fibers from the rope. I'm just going to do it just to appease you. So, still fairly sharp. It's definitely got some hitches in there. But like I said, most steels do at this point. That's pretty good. This is the edge flattening I was talking about. I'm not sure the video will be able to pick it up. Hopefully it will. Maybe if I increase the light in here. You can kind of see it. The little glints of light right there. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying edge flattening. There you go, you can see it. Is S35VN designed to do this? I think so. Honestly, I think it's meant to do this. Does it hurt the edge retention? In my eyes, it does. S30V knives, mine at least, don't flatten like that. And the edge flattening is what's killing the edge retention. There you can see you are perfectly in line with the edge right now. You can see a huge flat spot there and one there. In my opinion, it hurts edge retention. I would rather it develop a toothy edge with a lot of carbides instead of just flatten out. But that may not be what S35VN was designed for, which is fine. I mean, if that's what it was designed for, then let's take that, because if this steel ends up being easier to sharpen, that's good. Less time consuming to sharpen, and easier to machine, that's good also, which it'll cut cut down on our bottom dollar. Knives will be cheaper. But I just wish it wasn't at the cost of edge retention. And honestly, the other knives haven't flattened like this. At least not to this extent where it's visible to the naked eye. I didn't do as much cutting as I have just done here. So we'll see in the formal test. Should probably put a band-aid on, but the knife still cuts. Even with the flat spot, the knife still cuts, which, if you're one of those type people that doesn't care about a highly refined edge, then the flat spots will not matter to you at all. Because the knife still cuts. To me, I've just grown accustomed to the way S30V holds its shape. An example, it doesn't flatten. I've just grown accustomed to that. So I kind of don't like the way 35VN flattens. But my sample may not be at the 59.5 that the rest of Sal's samples have been at. We won't know till I send it in. That was cutting with a portion that has flattened a little bit. I'm going to cut with a heel that hasn't done any cutting. There's not much of this blade that hasn't done some cutting. There you go. Still able to get through it if I help it along. Respectable. Respectable. None of this changes the fact that the Native 5 is an amazing EDC knife. Compact size, but it fits a lot of cutting area into that compact size, and it's a small knife that has big knife ergonomics. I mean, it's honestly one of the most comfortable knives that I've ever handled in this cutting. This type of test will show any hot spots or anything like that very quickly. I mean, it will tell you if a knife is uncomfortable in the first minute. And this one is just fine. Better than fine. Last cut. And that was roughly 9 feet, if I forgot to tell you. Roughly 9 feet of 3/8 inch sisal rope, just like the other tests. Okay. Let's show the edge in detail as best as I can. I may crank the ISO up here. In fact, I think I'm going to. It's just going to help us see a little bit better. There you can see the edge flattening. Just a little bit. It may have hurt us a little bit in terms of being able to see. There you go. A little bit of flattening back here. Spot right here. Some flattening up near the belly. Excuse me, that was not any flattening back there, that was material left on the edge. That was no flattening whatsoever. It's up here. Right there. My hands are dirty. There you go. If you give me just a second. This may be a miserable failure, but I'll try and do the loop again. The depth of field on this camera is very shallow, so it's hard to hold anything in focus with a loop since the magnification is so great. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't hold it in focus. I apologize. But Sal, you'll get to see it. It's just rolls and flattening. That's all it is. It's just something that I don't experience with S30V. And I'm surprised it happened at this higher edge angle too. There you can see it right there. Just little rolls and flattening. You could see them glinting in the light. And the edge is clean. Run it on wood. The edge is clean. I'm trying to show it in detail because a lot of people were asking. This is as far as my camera zooms with this lens, so I need a magnifying glass. That would help a lot. It's a bigger diameter than the lens. So there you go. Just wanted to do this for posterity before I send it out. You can see that big flat spot there. Anyway guys, if you've had a knife in S35VN, chances are it's okay. Don't let this alarm you. Please don't feel like you have any less of a knife. The S35VN Sebenza that flattened worse than anything I've tested, I still carry. So, yeah, I mean, if you know how to sharpen a knife, which most people can keep a knife sharp, it's a non-issue. It doesn't matter. Even if Chris Reed never ups his hardness, they're still good knives. I can't stress that enough. They're still excellent, excellent knives. It doesn't matter that they don't hold their edge as long as some of the super steels, or even as long as it could. That's the way he wants his knives to be, and that's his prerogative. It does not make them bad knives at all. Please don't feel that way. Especially since I still carry one, I would not want you guys to feel like you're undergunned with a CRK knife and S30V. So, anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.